Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Incompetent Nerds. It's your sexified host here, Tank, along with your other co-host, Mark. And we're here to give you some more stories.
Yeah, we figure August has been going so well with our deep dives into the twists and turns with all our storytelling and how we end up in who knows where.
Who knows where we're going to end up with this
going.
one. Yeah.
We're just going to keep it going.
Exactly. So, going back to when we were memories of kids, especially at the end of summer, there's nothing like that final week of summer vacay and then going back to school.
Yeah, so we got the vacations out of the way, we got the summer things to do, and this is that back to school life. That one last week, like, how do you approach it? What do you do? What do you remember? That whole fun stuff. So I'll let you kick it off because you're always so good at your
my storytelling,
your memories. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I do.
A lot of my memories is me just crying because I gotta go back to this ridiculous ass school. No, but at first it's like, all right, school.
Yeah, you're excited for about a second, and then you're a little over it.
You know what the excitement is? It's the school supply shopping.
Really?
Yeah.
I always hated that part because I was like, I gotta go shopping. I hate shopping just in general.
When I was a kid, it was always when we went to go purchase school supplies. I always liked going with my mom because that's where it's like, oh, cool. I get to pick up all, like, you know, the binders, the pencils, the crayon, whatever that was needed, or the list that they sent to my mother. It was like what was needed, but I always liked mechanical pencils. So I made sure we got mechanical pencils, even though that wasn't part of the savings. You know, oh, look, you can buy, 300. You got the 300 pack of number 2 pencils for like 2 pennies, or 4 mechanical pencils for $5. I was a child that would fight and argue with my mother for the 4 mechanical pencils for $5. Sure. But I think time has changed, and a lot of students have been using more mechanical pencils than number 2s.
Did you learn how to write cursive in 3rd grade? Was that like a thing?
Once, and I think it was 3rd grade, and then after that, never learned it again.
Yeah, I mean that was all we did 3rd grade, and like, my handwriting to this day is pretty terrible.
Yep, I can agree.
And the teacher was like, all right. And the teacher was like, oh, maybe you should try a mechanical pencil, right? Like, it might help out your writing. I didn't help anything. But I just thought it was interesting that we focused on it so much, and that was when I was introduced to mechanical pencils, and I was like, are these pencils gonna change the world? Is everybody gonna start writing like this? And then we just never used them again. And then I was even more pissed when we started printing, or you can use a computer to print your stuff. And I was like, that whole year of my life just seems wasted at this point.
Dude, I feel the same way. My memories of, I want to say 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade, where we had to learn handwriting. It was the same thing. Had to write in cursive, how to read it, how to write it, learn the letters, and then they're like, from now, like, you're gonna learn this because you're gonna need it. This is a quick way to write notes. This is a great way to work on your penmanship. Blah blah blah. Next year, nope, gone.
It's out. Yep.
And that was because they were saying like, oh, computers are gonna take away paper and writing, and you could just type your letters and print it out and blah 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 and send emails. Yeah, that plan worked too.
Out the window.
Mm-hmm. But I did hear they're bringing it back though.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I thought my cursive was pretty good. No. It's just there was
CPS is actually bringing it back. Chicago Public
Protective
Schools.
Services. Oh, I was
Chicago Public Schools. What's CPS for you?
Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services? That's for us. That's DCFS. Department of DCFS. Department of Child Family Services.
Okay.
That's us. That's DCFS. So us is DCFS. All right, it's probably under YouTube, but it just has another acronym.
Yeah, that's not people we want to deal with.
No, but what is it with these
I feel
government agencies and acronyms?
because there's so many that they gotta shorten it to know like okay, this gotta go here, this gotta go here.
Yeah, same like handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
Do you use cursive at all anymore?
only just for us to sign and my
Like
damn,
casually.
yeah, just to if I need to sign a letter or whatever, or they need my signature wherever the hell I'm at, I do that, and it looks like a doctor's handwriting.
So you don't sign, you don't use cursive recreationally.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And my penmanship is probably as my penmanship probably looks as shitty as yours. It's like whose chicken scratch is this?
I thought I remember you having really good handwriting.
No, homie, my handwriting is horrible.
Is it?
And it's funny because why is it if you compare a man's handwriting to a woman's handwriting, and then she just blows you out the water? And it's like, where the hell you find the time to put a fucking heart for an eye? We had the same amount of time to complete one word, and you somehow
One letter, and you got an eye in it,
and you got a heart
design.
in it. What? I don't get that. You even make bubble letters and shit. Remember bubble fonts?
Yeah, bubble fonts were big.
Oh my god.
I think girls were just worried about the appearance more, so they made them look cute. So it's like, oh, this looks aesthetically pleasing, but
Yeah.
guys didn't give a crap.
Dude, it was just like, here you go. Yeah, one of my classes, I had a reading and writing class, and I shit you not, I know how many times my homework was sent back to me to complete just to make it more legible. When I was a kid,
gosh.
my mom would be furious. She goes, "Write it again, slower."
I would actually get in arguments with teachers because I was like, if they didn't write print, make sure you print or use cursive legibly, then like I wouldn't care because it would be like an in-class assignment, right? So you couldn't take it home.
Yeah.
And I was using the computer like really young, so like I was like, if you want my handwriting, you know what you're getting into.
Yep.
And so they would send it back, they would give it back to me, and they'd be like, oh, you have to redo this, like I can't read it. I'd be like, where in the instructions did it say like you had to read it? Like you weren't specific about that.
Why didn't you become a lawyer? Every time we talk about something, you always ask questions like, but why? No, nothing here in description says it needs to be legible. It just said write whatever, and I wrote whatever. It didn't say it needs to be readable.
That was my aesthetic as a kid, is I wanted to argue with everything. I don't know. I think I have a problem with authority, probably.
You definitely do have a problem with authority. That's why I'm like, why didn't you become a lawyer? You would have been fucking people up left and right.
It's because people aren't specific in what they ask for sometimes. I don't know. That's like too deep.
Yeah, we just started way off course.
We went from pencil. We started at pencils.
We started at pencils and just ended at fucking becoming lawyers and shit. And
okay, did you go back to school shopping for clothes?
Yes, that I hated.
Yeah, right. Like I feel like that was maybe the one part I actually enjoyed because it was like you got some fresh threads. But as I got older, then I just started wearing the same thing. You know?
Did you guys have uniforms?
No.
We did. So that's why I hated it. It was the same thing. They either had to be blue jeans, blue like Dickies, and then they even gave you an option of blue joggers, and everything had to be navy blue jeans, navy blue Dickies, navy blue overalls. We were allowed to wear overalls as long as they were navy blue.
This is a public school?
Yes. And navy blue joggers. And that was that. Like, all right. So I always had jeans and joggers, and every once in a while I had overalls when I was a kid. So I rocked those. But then I remember going to high school, and even it was orientation. Not even the first fucking day, it was orientation. And they're like, they told us like right away, you guys are not dressed for school. We do have a uniform code, and the uniform is a all white collar t-shirt and blue navy blue Dickies. I'll
Okay.
never forget my mom because they went. She already went shopping. Goddamn phone. She already went shopping, and they're there at the
Mhm.
orientation. They split up parents and students, and
Okay.
she said she told me that you should have heard the crowd because I told him like, so you heard about the uniform bullshit? She goes, yeah, I got to take all your clothes back and buy this shit. I'm like, this is bullshit. All the parents already purchased because in elementary it was navy blue
Right.
jeans and a white T-shirt. That was it.
Right. So that's what everybody brought.
So a lot of parents already bought their kids that, and here's first day of orientation.
And they throwing the collars up on you, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep, I'll never forget that, dude. First day going to high school, I was in these fucking blue Dickies, navy blue Dickies. Your shoes either had to be black or navy blue, and a white shirt.
Hmm.
Um, it was white, black, or navy blue shoes. Um, only blue, navy blue Dickies, and then
Hmm.
a white collar T-shirt. And then when you were in the school, whatever programs you were in, you were allowed to wear collar T-shirts that represent whatever club or you were in. Like that was fine. You could wear that. Um,
You just had to have a collar. That
yep.
was the main. That was the main appeal.
And then on Fridays, you were allowed to wear sweaters that had the school mascot on it. You were able to use sweaters, jogging pants, or even shirts for the clubs. So one of my clubs that was in it was sophomore year. It was the Male Achievement Club, and that club was it was to help reinforce minority males to get into college.
Okay.
When it came to the statistic, when it came to minority males versus minority women, minority males were just slacking. Not many of them. The numbers were just super low. So this one was part of the the Male Achievement Club was part of a project in Chicago, and I think also in the U.S. national too, which was called the Male Initiative Club, and the whole thing was the same. Just try to get as many minorities males into education, like get them into college, have a farther, get into there. So we had a shirt, and it was just a T-shirt, not even a collar shirt. And on Fridays we used to rock it.
Hmm.
But then this one fucking security guard tried to give me detention because I had the wrong shirt because I didn't have a right shirt. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the club I'm in, and on Fridays we're allowed to wear these shirts to represent the clubs. Well, that's not an appropriate shirt for the uniform code. Well, you could go ahead and talk to the I'm like, then talk to the club.
Wait, what kind of security guard is this at this school?
A bunch of rent cops, no bullshit. A bunch of fucking security guards that couldn't make it as cops, so instead they became high school security. There, some of them were a bunch of half-ass like.
And they're allowed to
tough
be
ass.
around children?
Oh, trust me, bro. Well, the children that they had to watch over were the same ones whooping their asses. So let's not get into that mess. Just keep going. So shopping was a mess for clothes. I always hated that, but for school supplies, I always loved it. Especially when I got the protractors and everything and the compasses. I was a huge geek for all that shit, bro.
See, I was the opposite because it's like when you do math, I was like you have to have a protractor and a compass that like is you're comfortable with and it's like yours. So like when mine broke and I had to get a new one, I was all pissed. I was like, oh man, now I gotta rework one into my system, and it was like I wouldn't let anybody use mine because it's like some people mess each other's up. I remember one time we had to take this math test and everybody needed a protractor, and I had two, and the lady was like, or the teacher was like, oh, can this person like borrow your protractor? And I was like, yeah, but they gotta sit next to me. And she's like, why? And I was like, well, I gotta make sure they don't mess it up. And the teacher was just like so thrown off that I said that, and she was just like, fine, whatever. And the person using it was like, didn't even know how to use a protractor, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. You know, the more I'm thinking about back to school, I was a little annoying. to deal with, probably, for some folks.
Hold on, bro. I'm sorry, and people of the podcast. Oh my god, this is really gonna take their turn for the worse for this podcast. So, my girlfriend just sent me a picture
Uh-oh.
and of a
Buckle
written
up,
note.
folks.
It's not one of those of a written note saying I hit your car, but I'm pretending to write my info because people are watching me. Hope you can fix it. Good luck. I responded back with, please tell me this didn't happen.
Oh, shoot.
She went, LOL, no. Woo!
Oh, she was just sending it, like she found it somewhere.
I guess she found a photo or some.
Yeah, that's terrible. It's just for, I guess.
Oh my god!
I hate
But that's
people that
fucked up though.
Yeah, it's just like, what do you do when no one's looking, kind of thing. It's people's inner conscience.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like seriously, I hit your car, but I'm pretending to write my info because people are watching. People are watching me. Hope you can fix it. Good luck. Literally, for a moment, I thought this was legit. I'm like, she is about. First of all, she's not having a good day today. Second of all, if this was real, I would definitely have been like, hey, you wouldn't have had to cut this short because I gotta make sure to visit her and she doesn't murder nobody. Because she is not having a great day today.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Oh my god. Okay.
Speaking of notes, though, when one year, like on the first day of school, the first day I got to drive my senior year, the parking lot filled up, so I parked on the street, like just where like the houses are and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this lady was dropping her kid off, and she hit my taillight,
Oh shit.
and like it shat. Nothing happened, but the taillight was shattered.
Yeah.
And so she left a note and everything. And she was like, "Oh, like, can we not like use insurance or whatever?" And I don't want my rates to go up, right? And so I was like, "Sure." So I bought the part from Toyota, and the taillight was like, I don't know, the whole thing was probably $150. And so I go and I show her the receipt, and then she starts like, "Oh my god, that's like the most expensive taillight like I've ever seen." And I was like, "How many taillights have you seen?" But I guess
your child wasn't the first one she banged.
yeah, I was like, in hindsight, I guess it was nice that she left a note, but I think she left a note only because her kid was in the car.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if her kid was in the car, she'd been like, "I'm out."
Oh, fuck this guy, I'm out. But yeah. What about you? Hold on.
I liked the clothes shopping more than the supply shopping because I didn't always like getting new stuff. I liked using the stuff I had. I don't know. I guess I got like attached to my items because
Yeah.
we had remember pencil boxes?
Yeah, I had a few of those growing up.
Yeah.
I still have one. Funny, and it has nothing but photos in there.
That's cool. It's a nice use of the space. Yeah, everybody had those pencil boxes, and I just kept mine for like I think all throughout elementary school and high school, and it just like that was my pencil box, and it had everything I needed. And when something ran out, I got a new one, and that was it.
Move on to the next.
So the clothes one was more ideal. But in high school, I just wore a Dodger shirt every day of high school just because like I wanted to be that guy. And that's after like 2 years, people are like, "That's Mark. That's a guy who wears Dodger shirts every day."
Oh man, we couldn't really like do any of that. Like you being able to not wear fucking uniform was fine. Me growing up, it was when was it? We started to rock uniforms when I was in second grade.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say. So second
That's
grade
pretty early.
was.
So you grew up with it.
I grew up with uniforms, and second grade for me was 1996, 97.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's when we started rocking uniforms. And then right when I left, fucking high school and went to college,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I like this.
No uniforms.
No uniforms. Don't even. Hell, I could just come in fucking pajamas on still. Wait, what?
That I think that's like when I was in college, I was like, wait, there's people here like who look like they just got out of bed. But then those people were the people who like had to wear uniforms like all of high school or
Yes.
like their whole life. So they were enjoying it. But like for me, I was like, did someone die? Like, did you not want to get out of bed? Like, what's going on?
Oh my god. But what else? One of my first days for me has always been nerve-wracking as a kid because I never knew what to expect. So when I went to elementary school, so in my neighborhood we had an elementary school that was K to 5, and then we had a middle school that was 6 through 8, and then after that was whatever high schools. So since these schools are real close to each other, after I was done and going to this school, I was freaking nervous. I was scared. I didn't know what to expect because this is I'm walking to 6th grade, and I'll never forget.
Right.
First day, I'm walking up there, and they had a list on the window of the students' names and their class.
Their class, yeah.
Dude, I was like so scared because I remember walking by myself, and my mom she walked us on our first day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, every first day of school she always walked us. So we're walking, but she tells me, go ahead and go to the window and look for your name and you'll find your class. I'm going to take your brother and sister to their lines to get into their school because they were still going to the same school. So I was like, okay. Bro, I stood at that corner for a good hot minute. I was just frightened. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. This is like,
Yeah.
I was freaking out. I was getting nervous. I think definitely anxiety was taking over. So I just started walking up, and I started seeing a bunch of familiar faces. I was like, wait a minute, a lot of these kids went to this school. And there was some other, then there was a bunch of other places that I didn't recognize. And that was because other kids coming from other schools in the neighboring parts that didn't have,
Right.
6 and up. So I'm walking, and I recognize a friend of mine's. And it's hard not to recognize him because when we were in 6th grade, this motherfucker was already like 5'8", 5'10". He was already a giant. He had a growth spurt, and I was still short. He goes, George, come on. So he grabs me, shows me to the window, and tells me, like, hey, look for your name right here. So I kind of felt better because now I found a familiar face and somebody who was welcoming me and, like guiding me to the window. Found my name, found the room.
You had a friend.
Yep. Found the name, found the room. And I forgot the teacher's name, but she was I remember because, oh my God, how can you not? She was Cuban, and she always had to like pronounce it, cause she was she was one of those like
She put the con acento in.
Yep, bro, she was like one of those like Latinas that was just always gotta be proud of where they're from and always gotta announce it, and she had the accent, and I was like, yo, what the hell? And on top of it all, she was kind of hot and on the thick side too. It was like,
Right, yeah, that's the dream. I probably remember every single teacher's name from like K through 12 easily.
I don't
Just because like that was the aesthetic, and then one year, how do I describe this? My 3rd grade teacher, I had her mom for my 7th grade algebra class. So like I had the in terms of like the math like class, the upper math class.
Yeah.
Because most people, you have to take a test, you have to sign up, you have to like go through all this stuff. But like I already knew the teacher, so she was like, Mark, don't worry about it. Like you'll be in my class. And I'm like, yes. I always knew like what teachers were cool, what teachers weren't cool. Like that would be my goal for the year, is to find out like what teachers should I get next year.
Yeah.
Because parent like especially white parents are like very aggro about like finding the right teacher for their kid or whatever. But I did it like the old fashioned way. I like talked to the kids and like did some research, and like I would see homework assignments and see which ones were hard, see which ones were easy, and see like how to get into that class.
Walk up to one of the students like, "Hey, Jimmy, come here. Can I talk to you for a minute?" "Yeah, what's up?" "Hey, I heard Mr. Smith is a fucking asshole. Is that true?" "Oh, you have no idea." "Cool. Go for the year. Not to end up in that fucker's class."
Did you have teams?
Do we have what?
Teams in like middle school? I think it started in middle school.
Dude, we had teams in fucking elementary school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I never. What was it? I never. Fuck. I never joined any of the teams. And plus, the mascots were fucking ridiculous, so I never really cared.
Oh, no. So I meant like something a little different. Like, you know, when you're in elementary school, you have like one teacher, and that's the teacher you're at like for the whole day.
Oh, like wait, what?
Then when you get to middle school, you have a math teacher, you have a science teacher, you have a right?
Yeah, we called them homerooms in elementary school.
Right. But you had the same teacher all year.
No, we didn't. So, once we started sixth grade, so that our homeroom or division class, we had that same teacher all year round, unless something happened and you switched to another teacher. But I had for high school, I had the same division teacher or just the division person, whatever, for 3 years straight. My first year it was somebody else, but then after that, the same one was the mechanic, the school's mechanic. She was the teacher. She was our division teacher for 3 years straight. But in middle school, every time you went up a level, you got a new homeroom teacher. And that homeroom teacher could be anybody that was either English, history, math, blanking out, reading, science. Yeah, I think we only had like 5-6 classes, and you just jumped around those classes. But depending on who you were with, you were only with that teacher. You know, you had an hour and a half. I'll never forget when they started increasing the time with these people, because I was just like, fuck, I hate this teacher. I gotta be in that room for like, before it was like 45 minutes or like, it was like 45 minutes to an hour. Then they increased it to an hour and 20 minutes. And I remember just hating it because I hated English. Oh, I wanted to murk the teacher so badly when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was it, but every English teacher I got was just horrible. Didn't matter what school or whatever. Every English teacher I got was just straight horrible. I always wanted to throw my chair at her. And it was a her. Okay, let me rephrase that. I had one English teacher that was a male, and he was awesome. But that's only one out of my fucking, first to 12th grade. And even in college, oh my God, English teachers were just like, why? Why every time? Like, what's my luck getting another shitty English teacher? I'm in college. I should be able to choose my classes. And I got this shitty teacher.
Yeah, so in middle school, we had teams. And so, like, when you go to different classes, you have different teachers, right? Yeah. But what they try to do is they try to make, like, these things called teams where, like, it would be a group of teachers. So there would be, like, a math teacher, a science teacher, an English teacher, and a history teacher. And that would be, like, the red team or whatever. And then there would be, like, another history and another math, another science, another English teacher. And that would be, like, the green team. And then they separated the kids based just randomly, and like you were in that team. So like you saw the same people in your classes. The teachers knew like who you were, and they talked to each other. So it was like it's kind of weird. Like they knew you even before you got there. And then when you got to 8th grade, then you got another team. Yeah. But what was weird was like some teams just seemed like either way not smarter or like stupider, but like. Some teams seemed like they had a lot more fun, and then some teams seemed like they hated their lives. It was like really interesting how it worked out, but I think it's just like randomly what kind of like the teachers like people got. And then one year, I think one of the history teachers, like 2 of the history teachers, like switched teams, and it was like a big deal because like everybody loved this like one guy. He was like older. and they switched him with like the young guy, and like people were all upset, and then like the people who got the old guy were all excited, but they didn't say anything, so it was like kind of weird. But then I was like, this seems like a little silly. And then you get to high school and it's like, oh, this is like all it is just like you get to pick whatever class you want and you can take whatever you want.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I had so in one of my first years, I had a teacher, math teacher in high school. I think it was it was sophomore year. And I'll never forget, first day walking into the class, I remember seeing a buddy leaving the class, a good friend of mine from the previous year. So I'm talking to him like, yo, so how's the class? He goes, bro, you're going to love it. I'm like, what you mean? You'll see. Because everybody was getting off homework. So we go to the class. He's giving us, he's a math teacher. He's showing all the equations. He's doing the equations in front of us as well. So we're solving them. We're all working together. It's not no like read page 20 and do odds. No, it was just everything was all hands on. So that's what I liked about him. So when he would tell us, okay, your homework for today is page 186, all evens. Okay, cool. Bro, the homework he was giving us was the notes we were taking on the board. The exact equations.
That's good.
Bro, I was like, wait, what? Because I went to go, I got a new sheet of paper, grabbed my pencil. I'm like, okay, I love math. Math is my thing. I have about 15 minutes before the bell rings. Let me go ahead and what?
Jump on it.
Dude, I'm like, why does this? I'm already doing them. I'm like, wait a minute, why does this look familiar? Like, I suppose I go back to my notes. I'm like, yo, he just gave us all the answers. So we never mentioned it to him. We just thought like maybe he's maybe he's not all there. He's an older gentleman. Let's not say anything. No. To find out he knew what he was doing. He just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, or he was trying to build everybody's confidence in math.
True.
See, now I'm a teacher, I can appreciate that. Like, that's not, people always remember the math teacher that you either love him or you hated him. And everybody has a story like that. But
and bro, it's great math teachers.
It's better to do that, right? And than to give you some like wing-ding problem out of left field that you have like no idea how to solve, right? And you're just like, what? I just feel like you wasted your time. And you feel stupid, and it's like a negative cycle. So he's probably helping you out in the long run, and you still remembered it. So
yeah. Oh man, no teachers.
Back to school is interesting though now as a teacher because every year I feel like I get a little bored during summer, and then it's like, all right, I'm ready to go back. But there's nothing like having a summer off that it's just great. It really is.
It is. Once I go back to work, I feel like I missed it. But now, that I'm break these past few weeks, it's just like
only in day 2. What do you past few weeks?
Hey, this is a future episode, motherfucker. Oh man, you just go ahead and shoot me down like that then. We're keeping this in the cast. I am not gonna edit this out.
All right.
Oh man. I'm damn near fucked up my finger banging it on my table. Oh man. But yeah. I'm just like I'm gonna miss it. Because I know once the days start closing in, I'm going to be like, oh, shit. But I feel like after a month, I'm going to just be bored, trying to figure out what should I do? What can I do?
Yep.
But we'll see. We shall see.
We shall indeed. What else? What else is there? Trying to think of memory. What are some good memories from back to school?
Well, let's make it easy on you. You're a teacher now.
Uh-huh.
How's how is it, for the past few years, going back to school as a teacher after summer break, walking in there? How are the first days for you? And this is first days for students, not first days when you got to go in there. I know you got to go in there a little bit earlier than expected. But when you're
Yeah,
there and you're waiting for students for their first day, what's that experience for you?
it's actually fun now, man. It's like you get to see everybody that you didn't haven't seen all summer, all the teachers. Some teachers leave too, and so it's like, oh, you get to see them. It's like, what's up? What'd you do? It's like a little family reunion kind of, And then you get to see the new teachers and like help them out and introduce yourself and tell them about like what it's like. And then you see the new students, and it's like a whole nother bag of like seeing them and missing them, and then they tell you all about their summer and you're happy for them, and then time goes by and you're like, shit, they're gonna graduate this year, and then they do all that stuff through the year, and then you watch them graduate, and then it's like all you do it all over again, and each year you feel just older and older.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's like I think I've always felt like this in school and as a teacher. Like I think summer is that point where you like watch people grow up a little bit, regardless of how old people are.
Yeah.
Everybody, like when you don't see someone for a long period of time, even if they don't do anything like significant, that's when it's like, oh shit, like this person, they're now older, because there's something about the school year that it's different than the regular year, so it makes people more mature and it makes people feel older.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Um, is there? I don't know. I've never had that. I've never had that like fear or like anxiety when going to school, but it's definitely like it's like starting a new job. You get jittery and you get excited.
And after a while, you're like, I'm sick and tired of this fucking place.
Yeah, and it's like then you realize like, oh, people are the same. The work is the same. Like
Yeah.
everything's the same.
You walk it through like, hey, Jen, stupid bitch. Keep walking.
Yeah, it's like there's that person everywhere at every job.
Yes, definitely. Uh-oh. Baby's just crying.
Oh no, baby.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Okay, because I'm already running out of stuff to talk about for first days of school.
Mm-hmm.
But to change subject, like officially change subject,
Okay.
I want to say, so my sister now has a Chucky doll, like
Oh,
a legit Chucky doll, bro. Like, what the hell?
a doll.
And a doll,
Okay.
hard plastic, everything. The fucker, cause move his arms and heads. But the crazy part is his head is like very. It doesn't have much resistance. So the fucker, you could turn his head around real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And
The elastic.
he freaks me out, especially that he has a button and says all iconic stuff from like whatever Chucky used to say in the movies. This is the original Chucky at that, not that new bullshit movie that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So last night, I had to use the restroom, and I always have a cup of water next to on my nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up, I'm like, I'm real thirsty and I gotta pee. Get up, use the restroom, and I walk into the kitchen to get my water. And sure enough, I see the damn doll sitting on the couch. My mother put him there. And dude, I'm just staring at it like, I wish you would. Say a word. Say something. Move a finger. I swear I will throw you out this window so fast and burn you. I'm like, do it.
Do it.
I'm like,
Do
cool.
it.
But the whole time, my heart is pounding. Because it didn't help that I just watched a video on some creepy paranormal shit on
Of
my
course.
on my damn thing. Like, I was watching this fucking creepy video, and I'm like, well, this is not helping at all, God damn it.
I don't know how you do that right before bed.
I don't know. Dude, I
I
don't
don't
know
think.
either. Nobody was years ago. So about 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 7, I stumbled upon creepypastas, not the videos, just stories. So I just used to read them before going to bed. And sometimes, bro, I will freak out so much that I never thought I could be scared just reading.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll be facing, like, because my bed is on the wall, I'll be facing the bed, I'll be facing the wall, and my back is turned to the rest of the room. And I'll be like, if I turn around and something's here, I'm gonna flip. Yeah, there was nothing there, so I was fine. But
This time.
no, this time I'm watching this creepy videos of like 5 paranormal encounters caught on camera, blah blah blah, and one of them was real creepy. One of them had like a Japanese something in Japan, and I'm like, well, that's creepy. I'm watching it, I start freaking out, so I like leave the video and start watching something else, and then when that happens, it's like, ah, crap, now I gotta go pee. So I get up, I go to the restroom, and then now I'm gotta go to the bathroom. And recently, the city just changed street lights to this new LED, and where the light, the way they have it set, the light only shoots downwards. Before, it used to just brighten up my living room. But now because of this new lamp,
it only illuminates like the
street,
the street,
just the street and the sidewalk. That's it. It doesn't illuminate the buildings. So now my living room is completely dark. And then I turn the hallway light and I look into the living room and there's Chucky. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, interesting. My power went out last night. It was kind of weird because it went out on the whole block, so it was like pretty pitch black.
Oh, it was the whole block. Okay.
And so you realize like, oh wow, when there's no streetlights, like that's when it gets really really dark.
Yeah.
And the kids were up like playing in the street like pretty late.
I used to do that too. When the blocks used to I remember in the summertime when I was a kid, that happened too several times, and it'll be, since it's so hot, you can't keep, no AC.
Yeah.
All the parents will come outside with drinks, whatever drinks they had in their fridge, start drinking on the porch, and the kids were running out with either glow sticks, flashlights, or whatever that the parents let us use, and we're running in the backyard, playing hide and go seek, even though the whole fucking neighborhood just had a blackout. And I remember several times lights shut up, lights magically turned back on, and we're like, oh. And the parents are like, all right, get your asses back in the house.
Yeah, that's funny. But there was a point where it was like everybody went to bed and it was quiet, and I looked outside and I was like, wow, it's like you can't see nothing. It's like then you remember like where your house actually is. It's like it's in the middle of like a valley in a desert, so it's like gonna be super quiet. Wow. But there's also been like coyotes this summer too, and have been eating dogs.
Oh,
like,
no!
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, like this one of the guys who lives on the street was on a walk with his dog, and they passed a coyote like early in the morning. Yeah. And the coyote had a dog in his mouth, and so the guy kicked the coyote, and the dog like was still alive, and so they had to like take him to the vet hospital. Yeah, but it was just crazy it was a crazy story to hear that like they're just out, searching for food.
Yeah, the only thing I have to worry about is just rats, bugs, and pigeons.
I love pigeons, man. You don't like pigeons?
I don't know. They're just rats with wings. I hate pigeons. Especially I got to constantly fight with the ones on my porch.
Pigeons are so chill.
Chicago pigeons are not chill. The downtown ones are not chill. The downtown
they were raised in the hood?
Bro, no.
Here's the difference. Little bulletproof vests.
I'm not talking about like hood. I'm talking about like these motherfuckers just don't give a damn. So, like, okay, you find a bunch of pigeons in my neighborhood. You can go ahead and go, "Mwah," and they'll start flying off. You go to downtown and do the same thing. They just walk right past you.
Those are mob pigeons. They've seen some shit. They've been through the war.
Bro, I swear to God. Like, I rode a train going home, and the pigeon got on and got off at another station. I was like, I looked at somebody, and they looked at me. I'm like, did that just happen? He went, yup.
So
I'm
the
like,
pigeon walked on the subway.
bro, he gets on in my station
Uh
on the
huh.
subway. Underground. This is underground.
Uh huh.
Gets on the train. I see him. Nobody doesn't. Everybody's looking like as if this is normal. People are on their phones. They look at them, and then they went back to their phones, or they're snapping pictures of them. That's it. I snapped a photo of him, and it was on my old phone, man. I lost the
Wait,
photo.
did he walk in or did he
He
fly
walked in.
in?
No, he walked in. Like he
Okay.
jumped over that little gap from where the platform meets the train. Jumped on, walked, waited. Once the train got to the next station, doors open. He literally walked out. People actually stopped for him to get off. Because that one person's song was like, whoa. He stopped, jumped off, and started walking. And I'm guessing he flew or something. But he started walking. I'm like, that just blew my mind. I'm like, I never thought I would see something like that. And the ones downtown, bro, they will fly in front of your face. They don't care. If you're walking, if you're walking and the pigeon's like walking towards you, one of you guys has got to move. Because he's gonna move to the side, but he won't fly. You can literally like tap him with your foot. That's how close they'll get. And by that time you'll see them fly off. Other times it's like when they fly, they dive straight low and they'll glide like head level.
That's like seagulls at the beach here. Like they're lawless. I'm telling you.
First of all,
Do
your
anything.
pelicans over there are lawless. That motherflower came down hard.
Oh yeah, they go for it.
When I seen that pelican, I was like, yo, that's a big ass bird. And all I heard was thump. The hell was, oh my God, it's a pelican. Jesus, huge.
Yeah, pigeons are something else.
Oh my.
But wait, what about crows? Crows are like,
Oh, I actually, shit,
they're
that
the
just
real mob of
reminds
the
me.
streets.
We actually have, I think these are, yeah, we have crows. I have pictures. I'm going to send them to you right now. You can look at them. They were fucking, ravens and crows are like somewhat of the same, and they're like my favorite bird.
Mm-hmm.
And where's my photos at? I gotta send you this photo. I was like, so it was during remember that time I was telling you about the move and we were cracking jokes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is it. The day of that move, we were having lunch, and I saw these freaking giant beauties. I didn't know how big they were. Really? You're freaking preparing? Stupid phone.
Wait, how many were there?
There was just two. You'll see it in the photo I'm gonna send you.
Sending me the photo. Sending me the photo. There was
Oh Lord.
in college one time. The crows in Flagstaff. They are ruthless. Like this girl was eating lunch. Like had the
swoop
sandwich
down
in
and
her
take
hand.
it out for your hands.
No, but like it was classier than that because like they got one crow and he like came up to her and he like got her to give her a piece of bread and so she set her sandwich down and then the other two crows picked up the sandwich by both ends and then flew it away like in unison and then the third crow went with them and I was like that was like a heist. That was like some Ocean's 11.
Mm-hmm. Well, what was it they say? Crows have a mind of like a 5 or 7-year-old, and they work together.
Yeah, they're pack animals.
And
sure.
isn't like a flock of crows is called a murder anyways or something like that?
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah,
Pigeons though are supposed to be smarter than crows, but they don't. The problem with pigeons is like they don't travel together. They're always like by themselves.
Yeah. You see the photos?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Dude, this was literally on my the patio of my building. I was like, yo. And just to see how like big they were, I was like, holy crap. Because I remember I was younger walking to school on some days, usually during fall.
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking to school and just seeing them in the trees. And I think that's what made me like fall in love with birds, especially crows. Like, I like birds. Like when it comes to pets, I'm a dog guy, but I'm also a bird guy.
You like birds?
I
I
love
can see you
birds.
being a bird guy.
I love birds. Um, I even told my girlfriend, like, when we move in and we get a nice house and everything, first pet we're getting is a bird, not a dog. And she hates birds. She
You gotta
hates
get
when they
a
fly.
you gotta get a homing pigeon.
I'm gonna get a
Just keep
messenger.
it.
I'm gonna get a messenger
Yeah,
pigeon. So every time I need to talk to you, I'll just send a message. I'll just do that.
keep it on the roof, and then sell it each time, and then it'll always come back to you.
Yep.
Was it the Nazis who used pigeons as messenger animals, right? I think that was their bird. I think that's why they have a bad reputation.
No. No, dude. World War I messenger pigeons were always used, and it was on many other fronts, Allies and
Both
Centrals.
sides.
Both sides used messenger pigeons. During World War
Okay.
II, radio technology got way better, so there wasn't a need for that. But people still use messenger pigeons and bicycles to send messages across, because on a bicycle you don't need oil, and two, a messenger pigeon, it's more
And they're quiet.
yeah, and it's more discreet. You see a flock of birds that's flying, you don't think nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they both sides have used that for communication.
Okay. Okay.
And talking about that, the Russians back in World War II fucked up. They trained a bunch of dogs, basically suicide dogs, to blow up Nazi tanks. The problem was dogs were trained to blow up tanks with Russian tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So they released the dogs thinking they're gonna take out the German tanks. Nope, took out Russian tanks. So that project was scrapped.
Well, that seemed like it was pretty rough on them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the podcast. Every time Mark makes a pun, the podcast will end there. So I would like to say thank you for joining us on this episode. I say it went pretty well. And can't wait to catch you guys next week. And I'm being legit, Mark. We're ending the episode. So say your goodbyes.
Guys, have a good week.
Peace.